With this, I would like to invite Ms. Anita Marangoly George for addressing our audience on sustainability provided by technology. Anita is an investor in sustainability with a distinguished and global track record. She has worked with organizations like World Bank, IFC, CDPQ, and mobilized close to 20 billion US dollars for India. Anita is setting up a sustainability investment vehicle, Edhina Capital, to invest in companies that leverage technology to provide sustainable solutions at scale. Please welcome Anita George.
Thank you very much, Rohan. Thank you so much for inviting me to, I think, a one-of-a-kind NASSCOM event that's focused on tech and sustainability. And I have to tell you that I am very happy to be a part of this, I would say, momentous occasion. I want to particularly thank you, Rohan, Anurag Jain, and a whole score of others who I know have very thoughtfully curated this forum that brings together sustainability and technology. I will start by saying that the tech world needs sustainability just as much as sustainability needs technology. And I thought, just to be clear so that we are not just throwing words loosely, I'll start off by what I understand by sustainability. And I'm sure there are many other descriptions and definitions. For me, sustainability, simply put, is business solutions that are beneficial for people and the planet, while achieving commercial success. And this tagline is very, very important, because if sustainable businesses are not financially sustainable, then it's hard for them to be long-term. These solutions range across several dimensions. There's, of course, the most obvious: climate change mitigation, climate change adaptation, resource efficiency, and societal inclusion. Rohan, you mentioned in your introduction ESG, and I often get asked this question: is sustainability the same as ESG? So just to make the distinction, in my view, ESG is how you do business, whereas sustainability itself refers to the actual business solutions that are deployed that bring about benefits for planet and people. So the way I see it, we see in the sustainability sector a huge role for tech. And for this audience, I dare not describe what I mean by tech. So I'll go on to just say why I think sustainability is important for technology. Very simply put, as we speak, the earth under our feet is literally being pulled off. And if the extreme weather conditions that we are seeing already will only continue to increase at a dramatic exponential pace. Pollution and other impacts which deteriorate human health and planet health are all really unfolding in front of our own eyes. This is the Y2K moment for sustainability, and I truly hope that it's not too late. Lest you think that it's all doom and gloom, actually, I see a huge opportunity for sustainability, which is closely intertwined with technology. And where is this opportunity? If you ask me, sustainability today is where the internet was several decades ago. We see four huge global trends. One, 90% of the global economy has committed to net zero. This is more than 135 nations that have signed up for decarbonizing, and they account for 83% of global emissions. Number two, not just countries, but companies with more than 14 trillion of sales are targeting net zero in the next 10 years. 21% of the world's largest companies have already started work on net zero achievement. 61 trillion of institutional AUM is under a carbon pledge. And most important, because money always speaks the loudest, 90% of investors consider sustainability and carbon reduction as key. So the opportunity is huge, particularly, I would say, for emerging markets. 75% of new power demand, for example, is emanating from emerging markets. 2x the number of cars that we have are going to double, and 80% of new building construction is also going to take place in emerging markets. In India itself, it's 11 trillion climate action opportunity. And it cuts across several sectors. We have seen the good news is that there is a real trend in VCs focused on sustainability. And that's again another indication of the kind of demand there is from different asset pools for sustainability and tech-enabled sustainability. And you might ask, why tech-enabled? One, I think, because it's asset light. So a lot of the investors who are coming into this area are looking to improve efficiency of existing sustainable assets. So let me give you an example. Like if you take renewable energy, even 10 years ago, we couldn't be speaking in gigawatt terms. Now, just in India, we are talking about 170 gigawatts going up to 450 gigawatts by 2030. That's huge amount of renewable energy that's available for technology to make it more efficient. And you mentioned, Rohan, data and analytics, the ability to get more out of these existing assets, do more with less, is really a role that technology can play. Technology can make also a lot of these services more accessible and more affordable. India is well poised given our tech talent and given the huge demand in every sector. When we look at, for example, green buildings, 50% of the buildings in India are yet to be built. So can we use technology to really move the needle and make these new 50% of investments green in the building sector? In 2007-2010, we had a wave of technology and sustainability coming together in the early days, I would say, of climate tech. However, this time round, I see a huge difference. Sustainability is attracting second and third time founders. These are experienced founders who are coming into the sustainability arena by choice, and they are building lasting businesses using technology to move the needle on sustainability. Another dramatic event that has happened over the last 2 years, and it's become so commonplace that we even forget what we've lived through, which is COVID-19. The pickup of digital services at all levels, at the consumer levels, between businesses, between government and businesses, and among government entities is just unprecedented. This fillip to digitalization and greater use of smartphones and online applications has made it even easier to develop tech solutions for sustainability. The big difference, the sustainability focused tech, I think the big difference really for the technology community is that in this sector, you have to work with the people on the ground to understand the ground realities. And some of the lessons that we learned from the 2007-2010 climate tech vintage is really that there was technology being developed without really an understanding of the sector on the ground, the business cycles, the business models that were being followed, which needed to adapt and change just as much as the technology needed to adapt and change to suit those sectors. I think it's very, very key that the tech talent teams up with talent on sustainable businesses, people who understand the ground realities, to actually come together and design solutions. We need to build energy transition as a service, ATAS. But I just made up this word, but as you can understand, what I'm trying to say is that where technology can come into the energy transition arena and really build energy transition as a service which is accessible, affordable, scalable, and that's when we'll really see the needle move on sustainability. We need water recycled and reused as a service. Here again, technology can play a huge role in terms of measurement, in terms of monitoring, in terms of being able to loop back and give consumers and institutions data which can then be used to make more sensible decisions. Doing more with less, and who better than our tech gurus to co-design that whole concept? Regardless of the sector and the area, I think doing more with less should become a mantra. So I invite you all to look at the big sustainability opportunity and solutions that are looking for technology and solutions. Do you know that still 85% of our energy consumed, whatever we are drawing down from the grid today, is fossil fuel based? So all this lights around us, the internet connectivity, all of this is happening because 85% of it is fossil fuel driven. Can we come up with a technology solution that really addresses this? Do you know that India is among the most water-stressed countries in the world? And this is not something that's going to happen. Often people say, I want to do this for my grandchildren. Let me just say that you have to do this for yourself, because we are already starting to see the impacts of water scarcity, and India is one of the most hard hit by stress water situation. The Himalayan glacier is the fastest melting glacier in the world. So this in itself will have a huge impact. So while India faces a lot of problems, I am very, very positive that with the tech talent we have, with the ingenuity we have, with the entrepreneurial spirit that there is in India, that we can come up with great solutions. We are already seeing that. In the last 10 years, there's been 13.5 billion investments in sustainability solutions. And these do not include the large renewable energy platforms, which are another $8 billion. And if you look at the trend in the last year, out of the 13 point some billion, 4.5 has happened just in the last year. So the momentum is picking up. There's a lot of opportunity, and there are large problems looking for solution, where I think technology and all of you who are hooked into this event, I would really request that to focus on sustainability, if not for the fact that you can come up with great opportunities, also for the fact that it would be the most impactful for people and for the planet. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Anita, for the wonderful words of wisdom. Confident that our audience must have gained a lot and great insights from your keynote.